This is Trial by Stone. Hi, okay, so today I'm reviewing Death Proof, which is a film that came out in 2007. It was directed by Quentin Tarantino, who is personally one of my favorite directors, probably my favorite director, and stars Kurt Russell, along with Mary Elizabeth Winstead, um, Rose McGowan, uh, Rosario Dawson, Zoe Bell. Um, yeah, it is. Um, it Okay. It is about a group of women who go hanging out in an undisclosed time period. I assume it's 2007, just because of when it was released. However, the entire movie is framed to be a throwback to old 70s exploitation films, exploitation like slasher films, um, very grindhouse style. Um, and it is. Cause this is gonna just to show I'm cool. I'm gonna turn off my notes because I feel like I know a good amount about this film to not have notes to talk about it. I just rewatched it like 2 or 3 days ago. Show my brother because he hadn't seen it. Um, so yeah, it is about this group of women who are hanging out in what I'm assuming is like early 2000s because they use cell phones or like texting and stuff. Um, However, they are being chased by this, or not being chased, but being stalked by this man named Stuntman Mike. And by the way, spoilers for a film that came out in 2007. Um, yeah, his name is Stuntman Mike. He is played by Kurt Russell, who is probably my favorite actor. I love Kurt Russell. Um, and he has this car, which is death proof, which, if you don't know what that means, that is when stuntmen or women have basically they death proof their cars, which means they can pretty much do whatever the heck. Like, they can run into. Kurt Russell says in the film he can, like, run into, like, go like 40 miles straight into a wall and survive because the car is death proof. It's pretty much this beefed up car that is supposed to be beaten up and just wrecked and wrecked and wrecked and protect the driver. So he has this death proof car which he uses to hunt and kill women with. Yeah, this movie's cool. Um, if you're into slashers, it's very cool. Background on the movie. This was released in 2007 as part of Grindhouse, which is this double feature throwback experience that Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez put together to basically bring the concept, or just Grindhouse as a whole, back to modern day audiences. Because Grindhouse theaters, again, if you don't know, all this is on the top of my head, um, were basically in the 70s. They were these like low down, just dirty, not very well funded theaters that would mainly play in scummy neighborhoods and would play really, really low budget films. Stuff like, stuff from like Herschel Gordon Lewis or blaxploitation or sexploitation films, um, like Coffee, stuff like Pam Grier would be in, Coffee, Foxy Brown, Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, Thriller, A Cruel Picture, um, Switchblade Sisters. All of these movies are grindhouse movies. They would premiere in what people would call grindhouse theaters, and they would mainly premiere or be shown as a double feature. You'd have one, and then as soon as the movie would end, you would have another. And they were known for their mistakes and for being pretty violent and just graphic overall. Um, and because they weren't being shown to, I don't know, like giant audiences, people just wouldn't care, and that's what people would love them for. They mainly came around in the later 60s, going on the early 70s, and even in the 80s some. Um, and filmmakers like Quentin Tarantino and I assume Robert Rodriguez were big fans of them in that time period. And so Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez, who, if you don't know, is a really cool director. Everyone, he's pretty well known, but kind of forgotten about, I think. Yeah, Robert Rodriguez does not get enough love. Sin City is awesome, and if anyone tells you wrong or tells you that it's bad, they're just wrong because it's really great. Um, yeah, Robert Rodriguez, and he brought Boba Fett back from the dead. Like heck yeah, man. Um, yeah, so they decided back in 2007 to make Grindhouse, which would be this double feature, which would play Robert Rodriguez's Planet Terror and Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof. So I was very smart about this because I was like, you know what, I want to. I haven't seen Death Proof, so it was like I'm not gonna watch Death Proof by itself because apparently there's a Blu-ray release of Death Proof, which is like an extended cut almost to make it be more of like a regular movie length instead of like an hour and 20 or 30 minutes, which it kind of runs at because again, it's like a 3 hour long movie experience because you're watching two movies back to back with fake trailers, might I add, um, in between the film and then in between both films and at the beginning of Planet Terror. And yeah, so you can buy Blu-ray releases of both films, which are extended cuts of the Grindhouse experience, if you will. But they are just one of the movies each, and with no trailers, as far as I know, and no fake trailers, as far as I know. And so I was like, screw that. I want to watch this the way that it was meant to be watched. I'm going to watch Grindhouse, not Death Proof, not Planet Terror, Grindhouse. And the second half of Grindhouse is Death Proof. So I had already seen Grindhouse. I showed my brother Ashton Planet Terror, and we just never really got around to finishing the full experience and watching Death Proof. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna show him Death Proof one day, and yeah, it's gonna be great. So we rewatched Death Proof, and boy, is it a great movie! I love Death Proof. It is so underrated. Um, Grindhouse as a whole is super freaking underrated, but Death Proof is maybe my favorite part of it. Maybe, I don't know. It might be my favorite movie of the two. Probably is. Probably. Maybe for Kurt Russell alone. I don't know. Um, the stunts in this movie are so good. Oh my god. Every time I watch it, which is 3 times now, it's just so exciting. Like, it is. They're so good. I haven't seen many of the older race or car movies like Vanishing Point, which is referenced a ton in this, or um, I'm just not gonna name any other car movies like that. Bullet, I think, because I just can't think of names. But Bullet, Vanishing Point, stuff like that. Um, yeah, I haven't really seen many of those to um, judge between Death Proof and those, but I can say um, from just Death Proof alone, dude, these stunts in this movie are so good. Especially because you're having stunt women do them. Zoe Bell is so awesome. I love her so much. I love that Tarantino has kept her around from Kill Bill, which is probably my favorite movie. If you don't know, um, she's so fun to watch, and she's such a cool just stunt woman. She's so good at her job. Um, yeah, this movie is such a blast. Kurt Russell just rules. He is eating up the screen in every scene that he's in, um, especially towards the end. Um, the end is just great. The last, like, I don't know, like 20, 30 minutes of the movie is just cars and or car stunts, and it is glorious. And Kurt Russell is amazing. You get Rosario Dawson. I'm really blanking on the other actress's name, but you have Zoe Bell as well. All three of them just rule and are so funny. Um, Man, it is an exciting movie, and these I want to give a shout out to the special effects, which I believe were Greg Nicotero. And it's funny because I think the opening titles refer to him as Gregory Nicotero, and you probably know him from like Walking Dead and stuff, and Creepshow, the new show. He's done a lot of other special effects stuff. I think he did. I think if I'm not mistaken, he did the special effects for Creepshow 2, which I've already reviewed. Um, which is interesting because Tom Savini is in that movie, who also does special effects, but I don't think he did the special effects for Creepshow 2. Whatever. Anyway, so Greg Nicotero did the special effects for Death Proof, and man, are they top notch! It is so good, and you really get to see his roots before Walking Dead. He also did the special effects for Planet Terror, so yeah. I really love Death Proof. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's a Tarantino movie, so you're gonna get great dialogue. Um, just just a well paced movie overall. Editing by Sally Mink is just it's Sally Mink, so um, yeah, it is a good movie, and it does not get enough love. Um, I love all of Tarantino's movies. I think this is a very underrated one, especially because of just Grindhouse flopping, because people just didn't know what they were gonna get. They just didn't. I don't think people. I think Tarantino has said. I think I've read that he said a few times that just people like they were like so ready for people to watch it, and just everyone just wasn't in to the gag. They just didn't understand. They were like, Grindhouse, what the heck is that? And it was just a weird, really long 2 movie gore fest. I don't know, and people just didn't understand, and it is so fun to watch, and it spawned so many other cool movies. Black Dynamite, which wasn't which wasn't spawned by it, but it kind of came from the fallout of Grindhouse. Um, Machete is awesome. I've heard it's awesome. It looks so cool. However, a movie I have seen, which was spawned from Grindhouse, Hobo with a Shotgun, which I will be reviewing very soon, is awesome. And technically, fun fact, wasn't actually released as part of Grindhouse, but it was one of the trailers that were submitted to Grindhouse. One of the fake trailers that was submitted to Robert Rodriguez's like fake trailer contest he threw out in like 2007, and a bunch of Canadian kids threw together this trailer for a film that didn't exist called Hobo with a Shotgun, and you can still find it on YouTube. It is awesome, and in 2011, uh, a couple of insane people decided to make a film starring Rutger Hauer of all people, or Rutger Hauer. Anyway, starring Rutger Hauer as the hobo with a shotgun. It is a delightful movie. Extremely gory, but a delightful movie. um, so yeah, enough ranting about all that. Death Proof. It's great. I love it. I did not give a score to The Wolf House, which is my last review, but I will give it a score for Death Proof. It is. I would probably give probably like an 8. I think all of Tarantino's films are either like they kind of ride that line between an 8, 9, or 10. Some are definitely 10s. A lot are 9s. Majority of them are probably 8s though, but it's like a solid 8. It is a really good movie. Love it. Kurt Russell's awesome. Yeah, Death Proof. This is a Trial by Stone. Peace.